The Monsters have advanced to the North Division Finals presented by 1010. Get to Rocket Arena on Thursday, May 14th at 7 as the Monsters host the Toronto Marlies in Game 1 of a best-of-5 series. And the first 5,000 fans receive a Fear to Death t-shirt courtesy of University Hospitals, and all fans receive a rally towel from 1010. There's nothing like playoff hockey. You got to see it live at Rocket Arena this Thursday night. Get your tickets and more info at clevelandmonsters.com/playoffs.
I got a funny story to tell about watching the Cavs that I will do in the final segment this hour after our next break.
Perfect.
But let's get to the Guardians, guys. Nice sweep of the Angels. They held the Angels to 2 runs in all 3 games of the series. 4-2 the final. Couple of interesting stories from this game yesterday. Number 1, Parker Messick, again with a strong performance. Allowed 2 runs in 6 2/3. His ERA is in the 2s. Yep. He's been tremendous. The other very interesting storyline is going to be something to watch this weekend against Cincinnati. Angel Martinez gets in the leadoff spot. Now, Steven Kwan didn't play yesterday, but Martinez, who homered on Tuesday, homered again yesterday.
Leadoff homer, too.
Yeah, Travis Bazzana. I'll give you a third storyline. Travis Bazzana, who I remember after a week into the season, the casino.
It was BetJack.
Whoever runs their social media should be fired, honestly.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad tweet.
Did the Guardians call up Travis Bazzana too early for? You're an idiot. Don't tweet.
Now he's cooking.
Travis Bazzana's OPS is up to 730, which is, league average, which is nice. His on base is over 718.
Yeah.
League average.
On base over 400.
His on base is over 400, which is elite. Now, it's very early either way. It was stupid. I love the idea of Travis Bazzana leading off. I don't think they're going to do that, but Angel Martinez, I think that's the storyline here. Yeah. Should they lead him off or somebody off and drop Steven Kwan in the lineup?
I thought, yeah. What are you talking about? Listen, he's a switch hitter. You hit one from one side of the plate, and then you hit one in the game last night. I'm like, oh yeah, this is written all over. It's written all over Stephen Vogt's face. This is the move you need to make. And Kwan has struggled mightily. Like, he does not look. I'm confused. His swing doesn't look right. He does not look like he's hitting the ball with any sort of consistency. His contact rate is bad. He just, like, when you got a guy like this and he's bad, not getting on base and doing the things that he needs to do, and you got Angel Martinez, who, by the way, no matter where they played him at, he's produced.
Yeah.
I think this is a no-brainer, McNuggets. I'm definitely moving him.
Yeah, I will not pretend to be an expert on baseball psychology when it comes to a manager putting together a lineup, but when you look at the numbers you see Steven Kwan's put up this year, if that was a blind resume test, right, and that was a question mark and not Steven Kwan's face and Steven Kwan's name on there, you'd say that's probably Brian Rocchio. Or that's your prototypical 9-hitter in the lineup, a sub-600 OPS.
Austin Hedges.
A batting average that is lower than a lot of players in the team's body weight. Like, that is not your prototypical leadoff hitter on a good baseball team. Now, I'm not sure Angel Martinez is the perfect fix. I kind of lean more towards Bazzana like you do.
Yeah.
But if the Guardians, who are offensively challenged to begin with, are basically sacrificing an out at the top of the lineup before the Jose's and before the Manzardas and before the DeLauters and before the Rhys Hoskins against lefties, before those guys get up, I do think you have to make a change. And I saw Cal Raleigh's been going through a lot of struggles in Seattle. He won the MVP last year. And
yeah.
I saw a segment on MLB TV about...
he didn't win. Did he win?
Oh, he finished second in the
second.
MVP, but had that historic season, broke the catch record for home runs.
He's playing.
And they suggested
crazy
putting him on the IL for 2 weeks and just letting him get his head back.
Well,
like,
you can't technically do that.
They said he's dealing with an oblique injury.
Yeah.
They put whatever. They said basically give him 2 weeks off to let him digest, decompress, refocus. And I feel like that might be the move for the Guardians too, with Steven Kwan, because the player we've seen, not just this season, but going back to the back half of last season combined with this season, it's about 120 games now. He has been a below league average offensive player, and in the leadoff spot for a guy that we thought was the prototypical leadoff guy because of his ability to hit singles, to get on base, to not strike out. This just looks like a complete Freaky Friday situation and does not remind me of the Steven Kwan we got so excited about last year.
I'm here to tell you this might be, if I'm a baseball player, I don't know, I feel like I don't have the data to back this up, so don't kill me.
Yeah.
But I feel like from what I'm seeing, if I was a baseball player and I'm about a year or a year and a half away from me betting on myself and cashing out, I might take the deal early. And the reason I say that is because in baseball, there's so many things that can happen. Like it ain't basketball. Like basketball is if you can get 30, you can get 30, whatever.
Right.
In baseball, if you're hitting the ball, you 300, close to that, you had a great year, man, you could go in a slump, and then you gotta sustain what you've been doing for a whole nother year and a half to get. Betting on yourself sometimes don't really work out that way.
Yeah. Well, first of all, on that note, whenever I talk to the kids that I coach to try to boost their confidence and try to not let them get down on themselves when they're not hitting, I say there's nothing harder in any sport, at least in my opinion, than hitting a baseball.
Facts.
There is nothing harder.
Fact.
If you complete 30% of your passes, you stink.
Yeah.
If you make only 30% of your field goals, you're not very good. If you hit the ball get a hit 30% of the time, that's fantastic. Okay? Nowadays, you hit it 26% of the time, it's fantastic. It is hard to hit a baseball. And baseball, like golf, is a mental game. It's a golf that fans are not allowed to scream and yell, and the ball's not being thrown at you 100 miles an hour. Nowadays, every pitcher throws 95, 98. Jacob Mizorowski of the Brewers has thrown 103, 104.
Yeah, absurd.
I mean, it's crazy. So Steven Kwan's in a bad slump. Now, some of the going back to last year is a little misleading because he was actually good in September, but he struggled in August or whatever. I think he's, in the long run, I think he's going to be okay, but they absolutely have to drop him in the lineup. I understand why they haven't to this point because he's been a very good hitter for the most part for the Guardians, and he's done a great job as a leadoff hitter. And so you want to give him a long runway to kind of get out of that. But we are now, this is where you start taking stock of your team, right, at the quarter pole of the season. And that's where we are. We're at the quarter. What is the Guardians' record again? They're
24-21. And tomorrow's game's on WKYC. Make sure you tune in.
There you go. Watch it on WKYC. 24-20. We're actually slightly past the quarter pole of the season, right? So at this point, you gave him a day off. I would honestly give him at least one more day off on Friday against Cincinnati. They're off today. So if you give them off tomorrow, that's 3 days in a row to get a breather. Now, we know the division stinks. The White Sox, kudos to them. They're playing pretty good baseball right now. The other three teams are
if the season ended today and the
White Sox
playoffs
would be
began,
a
the
wild
White
card
Sox would be a wild card.
That's crazy.
So good for them. But you have to drop him. Now, Angel Martinez is playing great. I'm playing him every day. He's not really a leadoff hitter in a traditional sense. He doesn't walk. He doesn't really – his on-base is not good. He's got a pretty good OPS because he's slugging.
He's slugging so high.
Yeah, that's his his on-base – like a 773 OPS for a guy who doesn't walk is really good. I mean, a 260 batting average in this major leagues is like hitting 290 10 years ago.
It is.
So he's been great. I mean, the power – he's on pace for what, 80 ribbies?
Yeah.
For a guy who was a part-time player.
Almost 30 homers and 80 ribbies.
I mean, that's pretty damn good.
What you mean?
So I'm playing him every day. Now, I don't think they're going to have the cojones to do this. If I were the Guardians, I'd go all in on my guy, Travis Bazzana. I would lead him off. I'd hit Jose second. I'd hit Angel third. And then Manzardo and Hoskins, depending on who's playing. And
where's
DeLauder's third.
Oh, geez, I forgot about DeLauder.
DeLauder has to be third.
Yeah. Scratch all that. Scratch all that. Let's do that again.
Here we go.
I would put. Oh my God, I forgot about
Bazzana?
DeLauder. No, here's my lineup: Bazzana, Jose, DeLauder, Martinez, and then I wanted Martinez in the top four, and I forgot about DeLauder.
And that gives you, by the way,
and then
lefty
Hoskins
switch, lefty switch too.
Yes, I like that. But I would have Martinez up in the lineup. I'd put Bazzana to one. Now I think they could just put Martinez, even though he's not a traditional leadoff hitter and doesn't walk much, in the leadoff spot because I don't know they want to put the pressure on Bazzana. To me, Bazzana's not the type of player that's going to feel pressure of being in the leadoff spot.
Yeah.
You went all in on DeLauder. You got him at the top of the lineup. They've moved Bazzana up. I have a lot of optimism for the lineup right now.
Yeah.
I still think, by the way, I haven't talked about it, so I'll mention it now. I didn't love the Patrick Bailey trade.
Yeah.
Now, again, I know Jay was losing his mind about it. I'm not losing my mind about it. Tugboat is a okay prospect, but he's not a top prospect. And they did trade a late first round pick, like a
29.
It's called it's not technically a first round pick, but it's one of the top 30 picks. It's 29.
29, yeah.
So you gave up something for a catcher that's just a younger Austin Hedges. That's what he is. Okay, he's an elite defensive catcher. Great, but you already had that, and I wanted to see Cooper Ingle. I'm not killing him for it. And I do think they're going to need one more bat at some point this year. But I'm feeling really excited about the potential of this lineup right now because I'm starting to really buy into Angel Martinez. Obviously, I believe in DeLauder, who's been great. Obviously, I believe in Bazzana, who's been good so far. I think Kwan will bounce back. I'm good with Ramirez. Manzardo's slowly building
working
again.
his way up.
Hoskins is fine and is good in a part-time role. Rocchio's been solid. Let's get one more bat, one more legit bat at the trade deadline. I think they need one bat and one bullpenner, and I think this team could be serious contender. We'll take a break. And remember, Friday is Guardians Reds. G, final thought?
Messick might be their best pitcher right now.
He's been fantastic.
5-1,
Gavin
right?
Williams, his last 2 starts have not been good. They'll play the Reds, the big Ohio Cup. This is huge. We got to take care of
And it
this.
starts on the biggest station in Cleveland, WKYC.
Yeah, watch it on WKYC Friday.